To Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the very sought after G.I. Joe classified Walmart exclusive Range Viper. Here is the plastic free packaging that it comes in. Here is the top of the box, the warnings. The figure artwork itself behind that jungle setting is pretty fantastic. This is an amazing looking figure. Here we have the actual accessories and the nice artwork here. Looks pretty cool. And at the bottom we have the classified logo, the Cobra insignia, and the Hasbro logo. There's a packet packaging. This is number 76 in the line. Cobra Viper. You see they stand 6.3 inches. There's his loadout. There's his features. Works pretty good. Loving that sculpted helmet. And on the bottom we have a bunch of crap that no one cares about. Here we have our Range Viper artwork, and I think it looks beautiful. The red blood background, the skull mask looks fantastic. That is some perfect artwork. I wish we could have some kind of ways to maintain that, like in a poster or some type of source. And here's the other side, just pretty much the same stuff we looked at. QR code, some stats, but really don't mean a whole lot. Here's the top of the box. A look at the bottom of the box. And there's the UPC. I don't know or haven't heard or seen anybody finding these in a Walmart store, or at least reporting it. So, Walmart.com, pretty much. But they gotta show up somewhere in the stores because they are Walmart exclusive. So, and it doesn't say online exclusive. So, retain this information if you're still looking for these or if you're looking for more. And here he is, looking pretty awesome. As if you are G.I.JOE classified and you're watching this video, obviously you know that these are a pain in the backside to get. I did a video showing my, an unboxing of these guys. If you guys are having problems, what I did to get mine, if you're wondering how I have these, is I did not and will not be scalped. I will not pay $50, $60 for G.I.JOE classified figures. I will find alternatives, and I will find them eventually. I know this video, other people's done Range Viper reviews, but, I'm not paying part of the prices they're paying, and I don't get my stuff for free. So, what I did if you want to hear my experience or do what I did is 3-4 times a day, I just hit Walmart's website, and I look for Range Vipers for 2 months. 2 months. Absolutely ridiculous, I know. But it paid off. I had perseverance. I wanted these. They're one of my favorite troopers. And I wanted 6. And one day I was on the way to work. And I got to work. I had a few minutes left before I had to punch in. I checked. They were there. I grabbed them. I got them. And Walmart sent them the very next day. So I was quite surprised on the next day shipping. Free shipping. So that's how I got them. So if you guys can, if you want to use that in any way to help you guys get what you want, get you more, there you go. And let's take a look at this amazing looking figure. Now this skull mask is just incredible. My first impressions was the blue. I love the shade of blue that they used. Looks fantastic. And then they have the red eyes. They highlighted the red eyes with the black outline, along with painted inside the nose black, and there on the sides of the mouth, which really made that mask pop. Let me say iconic mask anyway for the Range Viper. So it is well received in the community. The sculpting is fantastic in my opinion. I think it looks great. Here's a side view of the head sculpt. You can see there's like a blue cylinder. So I think maybe should have followed through maybe here with the blue instead of leaving that gray, and just leave the brain sculpting gray. I'm not sure if that's actually an issue for trying to stay true to the original. So sorry about my hands. If you see this, I work for a living, so you know how that works if you work for a living. The sculpt here on the side looks great. It's all textured. We have it strapped down in the middle of to the back where you see the collar piece, and then more of the sculpting on the brain. And this side is the same as the other side we just looked at. Looks absolutely amazing. So the head sculpt looks great. The articulation, he does look down very decently. Not too much up. Then he has that back and forth motion. Then you get the crazy side to side look. And obviously you got the 360 rotation. It has a black neck, like under collar, like almost like a bodysuit that must be under his initial uniform, whereas that's just a blue t-shirt over a jumpsuit. This vest got quite a bit of detail. It's basically a black vest. It has some tan pouches on the front here with the black straps. There's some trimmer on the pad of his shoulder that has like the some tan here underneath the black shells, or there's some type of grenades. They look like rounds to me, but be what you want, I guess. Here we have, some more of that tan. The black is just a plate armor on the back pad. You see this, actually, the texture and the sculpt there is pretty cool. He does sport a belt also. It's like he has some magazine pouches there. He has a hoop here, probably for one of his weapons. We'll take a look at that. A pouch, some more shells or something. It's really hard to tell when it's not painted. Belt buckle pouch here. Black sleeves, blue shirt. There's that Cobra insignia. I get the light from stop glaring on it. There we go. Light is such a pain in the butt in videos. He has gray gloves. His shirt's kind of, stretched over his muscles. And a black undercoat armor outfit. Probably some kind of special material used, because I don't know why they represent range vipers with desert, because it really doesn't have a desert deco. So, is what it is. We have the gray gloves. And then we have, he has a watch over here with a black screen. A blue band, pretty cool. So for the upper body, we do have rotation in the arm, 360. They can raise up just above the T pose. Oh, maybe. Okay, what's going on here? Well, that's kind of stuck, so I'm not going to heat that up a little bit, but the arms are pretty much the same. Bicep swivel all the way around. Obviously, your arm rotates all around. Your bicep swivels 360 degrees. Double jointed elbows, and he really put his thumb on his shoulder, which is fantastic. The hands do rotate 360, and this one has the in and out like this on the hand. Kind of, I'm going to heat that up a little bit, work on that one too. This one, it looks like it may have the, this one has the up and down like this. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of heating on these guys. So I want to be careful, because it took me a long time to get these guys. He does have the chest articulation. You're used to seeing like the upside, like that T kind of frame. You can go back and forth, some side to side in the waist, and there's a rotation at the waist. And again, I don't like doing that because it gives me a lot of friction. But if you want to do your rotation, I don't see the point in it, so I'm not going to have my finger backwards. So I don't want to risk breaking him. He does have butterfly joints, which decent range for the most part. For the lower body, he has black pants on. He has two thigh pads over here. They're gray with a gun holster on this one, with a blue pouch. And then we have some pouches here on this thigh pad, on the black, on the gray pad with the blue pouches. A little bit of gray on it. It actually has some gray here, so it was nice. Or just painted around it. The thigh pads they could be a little tighter, in my opinion. Then they have the gray knee pads. We have the gray, two-tone gray boots, a light gray, dark gray. Looks pretty cool. Give it like a padded look on the front. Some tread. Could do better. Add some tread in the interior in the future figures, hopefully. In the lower body, they have the drop-down hips still, like this. And then obviously, we can see how he fits. Because this is a good idea to check here, because we're going to get the one in the 788 fire team, which is supposed to support our HISS tank HasLab, which, if you're watching this video here, what is this, October 22nd, 2023, they are supposed to be in the United States and should be coming to all of us to back them shortly, at least before the end of the year is what they're saying. And I'm banking they're going to hit us with the fire team, if not with the HISS tank, or shortly after. And they're shipping the HISS tanks. The legs spread out about that far. except for all the farthest drop down hicks come out. Pretty good that way. So a decent range of motion for a range vibrator. He's not a ninja, so you don't need, you'll have more than you ever need for him. He has thigh swivel 360. His knees, oh no, pretty fluent. I'm surprised after the whole arm incident. Pretty good. Nice range. Nice tones. Boot cut 360. Feet do pivot down, pivot up, and around the ankle to give you that illusion that you have a rocker. So finding the joint on these guys, man, for me, and just as a heads up, just try to grab close as you can to the ball. I mean, more pressure you put on here, that's only pegged in there. So be very careful. Of course, I'm just recommending things. If you don't, put your figures however you want. It's your figure, your money. Have a blast. Now, let's take a look at those accessories. First up, aesthetically has a black scarf. Just opens up here on it. There you go. So you can just put it on his neck if you want that on your range viper. Kind of does fill in the gap, so I do like it. So I think I'll use it. He has a pistol. Pretty cool. Drill barrel. Fantastic for smoking effects or blast effects. He has extended mags. This guy's going all out. Pretty cool. Let's see how well he holds it. His hand tolerances are good. I can actually move the fingers with my fingers, and look at that, how easy that was. And that's actually a relatively small weapon. You see the mag that sticks out through the bottom, so that's really, really cool. Do you like how that looks? Fantastic. And then also we have a place for him to keep that weapon, which is here. And let's see, he fits pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so next up, he comes with some rounds, a belt. Mine's kind of maybe twisted, and because it was in the packaging, I might have to heat it up a little bit. Because this wants to fold over, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's try to heat this bad guy up a little bit and see what we get. We're going to retrain this a little bit. By heating your plastic, you should be able to, just blew across my table here. Should be able to give it a memory back, so to speak. Like it has its own memory of its original shape. If it gets distorted, no, within reason, I mean. And then we'll let that cool for a few minutes. And then what I like to do for this purpose alone, I'm probably going to have to do the other side. Because it has like a turn in sculpt, so you're going to want it in a certain direction on your figure. Distributors, you're going to want to have your rounds, like if you're pointing outward, and the back of the rounds into the towards the head of the figure, if you want this look. And then it comes down around onto her shoulder. It keeps wanting to fold. So what I'm going to do, and I've used this trick before, I want to heat it up, and I'm going to let it cool to the shape that the figure is. Wow, that gets pretty warm. So now I'll slide this down and let the shape of the body do the work. So I kind of want it like right there. I come down and it kind of flows over that way. And we'll let that cool. And while that's cooling, it shouldn't take that long. It's the back of it. So there's a little tip, a trick there for anybody that does not know that plastic has a memory. Don't forget, if you like this video and the tips and tricks I try to add in all my videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate the support of the channel, and thank you guys ahead of time for watching and for subscribing. It means a lot to me. There you go. We'll let that cool. It looks pretty spot on in my opinion, for at least my likes. Let's take a look at some of his accessories while he's cooling down. Just let the air do its work. Here's this knife. It's kind of almost like a modified sai, which maybe see slice shoes or something. Just a black piece of plastic. It looks pretty cool. I'm not going to try to touch that bullets, but you can hold that relatively good. That's nice. And I think this is what the hoop is for on his back. And you can probably stick this. Yep, it's right in there. Oh, it's in a bad spot. It's definitely in the way of the arm. You see how you push your arm back, it hits the handle and it tries to warp your knife a little bit. So I can feel my see, that's already very nicely cooled, and you can see how it shaped itself down around because I heated it. And if I leave that there and I don't mess with it too much, I keep pushing down on it, because like you have this, you're getting up over those pouches, you push down on it, you can definitely get, look at that, that looks fantastic. Okay, rounding out his melee weapons, he has his axe. Pretty cool. I wish it was me. Again, it's just me. There's nothing wrong with this. Besides it's a little soft. But it's not bent. Wish I had some silver. This black handle and some silver at the bottom. That'd have been awesome. There's nowhere, unfortunately, I don't think, maybe to keep this weapon. But because I like to have all my weapons on my figures. And the hands are, like I said, even if this is soft, my hands on this figure at least is pretty receptive to all his weapons. Or maybe it's a little loose. It's not as tight as you probably would like. But you can see me molding that as we're doing this video. Kind of doing two things at once. So I got to do that 6 times for every one of these I have. That's pretty cool. That's great. And I don't recommend using glue. Of course, you can do what you want, but if you ever decide, oh yeah, I don't want these figures anymore, and you start gluing stuff, a lot of collectors ain't going to want to pay you, premium price. And if you sell in 10 years, you're obviously entitled to getting more for it because they're not available. You're not really scalping them then. You have an antique. Anything 20 years is an antique. So that being said, here is our grenade launcher. This is a pretty cool weapon. I like this. It has the scope on here. Nice sculpt. It's not as flexible as used to seeing. It's got some flexibility to it, but hand on the front, drilled barrel. The barrel here, this is removable. I'm not going to remove it because mine was already put in there and I have no reason to remove it. It does spin though when it's inside there, if you can get your fingers in there. And you can remove that because it shows it on the packaging. But at this point, I tried messing with it. I was going to see if it came out. It doesn't come out very easy, at least on my copy. So I'm not going to force it out because I'm not sure how that's even in there. Probably some kind of type of peg system. But and there he is with the grenade launcher. Looks very awesome. I'm so excited to have these figures. I mean, work my butt off trying to get these guys. Not only that you have to earn the money to buy them, you have to try to find them. You shouldn't have to go through all that. One thing I wish Hasbro would stop doing would be like, stop making Army Builders exclusives. And I hate exclusives to begin with. And then you have to add popular Army Builders. And you make them exclusive. Exclusives are probably limited anyway, and then more of a mass market run. Just let us get our figures. Stop with the nonsense. And you can hold it. And of course, you can put it however you want. But for our purposes, you can get both hands on that weapon. Okay, now he has this weapon, and it's the one I kind of was not very happy with. It's a heavy machine gun, and obviously it has no stock. which is retarded because it's like, you're gonna have massive recoil unless you're, somebody like Roadblock or Sergeant Slaughter that can hold, massive resistance. You can, you just think he's going to be popping around when you're firing this thing. And it comes with an ammunition box. The rounds are kind of like, unsightly. But I just think it looks off for something this large and this caliber weapon not to have some kind of stock. It's unpractical and takes away from the realism. I know it's G.I. Joe, but all of us want to have decent looking. No, do I have a yeah, see, this is what I wanted to see, and I didn't know it. I'm going to get to it in a minute. I wanted this to be on the outside, so when he's holding it, you can see it. But see the rounds, they're going backwards. You got to put it on this side. It doesn't seem to fit right. It was almost like it's keyed a certain way. Let's see here. Here we go. And then you can just push those in. And there's your gun. And unfortunately, it's on the inside. So, well, I guess it would make sense practically because you want to shoot the rounds out. Now that I think about it, as it discharges each round, it's going to spit them out. I get it. I'm just thinking more of an aesthetic point of view than actual practicality, which I was just arguing practicality about the stock. So that makes lots of sense, right? So, you're seeing them as I'm seeing this. I just opened this guy up with you guys on this video, so we really have a chance to really think about all the features that it comes with. Okay, here we go. You know what? It's not that bad, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I like this. I want a stock on it. I guess it works. Aesthetically, I want a stock. So that makes sense. I don't know. I just moved my. Let's take a look at that. We have one more piece to look at. Let's take it out of his hand, and then we'll look at the back piece, which is something I think they've added. I don't remember being on the vintage figure, or was I mistaking? It might have been. You see how the arm keeps hitting that knife? It's a pain. So I want to take that out because I want this ammunition belt to stay where it is. It's probably pretty much cooled by now, nonetheless. It's definitely going to move around because it's not secure, but it's definitely shaped itself to the figure. As you can see, I like it. And it's nice that it's not in the way about the accessory we are going to take a look at right now. Another accessory is his backpack. And I'm quite surprised at the backpack because it has some paint. We have some kind of a display here. A red dot, like power light maybe. Some buttons that's on there. Some kind of communication tracking equipment. We have the gold rounds there on his backpack. There's a paint inside there. That's fantastic. They have the blue tank on the top with the hose and antenna. I wasn't totally sure if this was part of the original Range Viper. Did it have one of those tubes on the vintage figure? It's been a while since I've seen my original Range Viper. I hate when you have this space and you kind of put stuff away for a while. Here's a radio, sculpted right on the side, and a pouch, peg on the back. What is this? Is something that we can utilize? I might wait a minute. Nah, that's not gonna work. So I thought maybe I keep that on here. There's not. What's this? No peg. You know what? Initially, I tried this earlier. That's not gonna fit in there. You put that down there, it's gonna catch on that little piece right there, and you're not getting it out without severely stretching that, or even cutting that piece to get that piece out. So don't even attempt it if you don't want to have to cut it out. Oh yeah, so this is pretty cool. So let's turn him around. There's a hole here in the back of his head there at the base of that strap. That's where this is going to go. Stays in pretty good. And then we got to put the peg into his back. Try not to move my belt. And you see the antenna's kind of warped a little bit, but that's okay. It's the antenna. And then, man, that belt looks, that ammunition belt looks great. It worked out really well for me. There's the backpack with the figure. Looks amazing. Okay, so yeah, that's your range viper. I can see why these are very sought after. They are pretty nice figures. Some of the final thoughts. It's a great figure. I don't see anything wrong with it. I got my arms a little stiff. I gotta heat it up, but as you see with the demonstration with the belt, I can fix that easy with some heat. Heat works miracles with action figures. So remember that. Try to avoid the water method, but do whatever you want. But it comes with a good bit of weapons. They're a little soft. This one's not as bad. A little bit of paint here would have been nice. Overall, I'm just like trying to find any negatives for this that I can. But it looks pretty good. I think the biggest issue I had was no stock. And so other than that, I highly recommend these figures. Go grab them however you can. And buy as many as you want. Don't let nobody tell you how many to buy. Save for other people. They're not going to save for you. It's your money. If you have an opportunity to army build, if that's your thing, do it. And but don't scalp, guys. You're not helping anybody by scalping. You're making other people's life hard. Because here's my point of view. If you're a scalper, I don't care if you're a scalper or a reseller. You're buying up product, a high demand product, and you're reselling it regardless. You're jacking the price up. If you call yourself a reseller, you call yourself a scalper. You take $25 fees at Walmart and you're jacking them up to make money. You're not helping the collector that want these figures to enjoy them for what they were made for. You're making them pay more money. They got to take more money from their grocery bill. They got to work overtime. They got to do this, do that, so you can get an extra $5, extra or $50 if you're a scalper. You're not helping anybody. People come across, oh, thank you so much, and I paid $50 for a figure off of eBay. Thank you, perfect seller. No, you're not a perfect seller. You're an ass. With that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in our next review.